All right, so you clicked on this video because you are looking for a video of someone explaining to you the step-by-step process of how you can start selling on Amazon FBA in 2018. So we're in the office on a Sunday, we're working because there's no weekends for us. There's a rig in the back that's mining Ethereum, even though that's worth nothing now. Hopefully it's another bull run after this. But anyway, what I thought I want to do a little bit different for you guys is the fact that there's so many YouTube videos out there already that show you the step-by-step process. So I thought I'd make something a little bit different for you guys. Not only will I show you the step-by-step process, and I divided everything into 6 different sections, but I'm also gonna be showing you the most common mistakes that beginners make for every single one of those sections. So let's hop on the computer and let me show you a couple things, and I can promise you this, by the end of this video, you're gonna have a very, very good understanding of the entire business model from the beginning to the end, and you're gonna have a list of the common mistakes that beginners make so you don't have to make the same mistakes. All right, guys, so we're in front of a computer now, so let's get to work. So this is how it's gonna be structured. We divided everything up into 6 different sections. On the bottom of each section, I'm gonna tell you the most common mistakes that I see beginners making when they are on their Amazon FBA journey. So make sure you pay attention to this so that you don't make the same common mistakes, right? So before I even go into this entire video, just want to show you guys that at the end of this video, I'm going to give every single one of you guys this complete checklist. Here you get, product research, you get a complete checklist, and not only that, I give you the tools and resources where you can contact to make sure that your first product can have the highest success rate. So for example, you should always have an inspection company before you get that product from China to Amazon. Therefore, I'm going to give you the inspection company that I use. Another example is if you want to create a perfect logo, well, I give you the resources for that as well. So stay tuned. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you this checklist. And also, before I even go into the step-by-step, I just want to show you some proof. Right now is 1:55. I just refreshed Google local time. I'm going to refresh my Amazon account as well. So this hasn't updated yet. It's still 1:39. That's when it was updated. However, we are at $3,100 in sales. We've sold 157 units. Right now it's only around 2 o'clock. So still a long way to go. And in the past 30 days, we've sold $136,000 of products, and that's equivalent to around 7,200 units. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this is not because I want to show off or whatever. It's because I think it's important for you guys to know who you're learning from. There's a lot of YouTubers and gurus that never show you the numbers because they don't really sell on Amazon. They make their money from selling courses. So what I want to kind of do is educate my audience and let you guys know that, hey, look, it's important for you to learn a business from someone who has essentially earned the rights to teach. You know what I mean? So anyway, whether you learn from me or someone else or whoever you guys learn from, just make sure that you know who you're learning from and they can prove to you that they've earned the rights to teach, essentially. So without further ado, let's jump into the section number 1. So section number 1 is an initial setup, right? So we're building a Amazon FBA business, and in order to build an Amazon FBA business, there's some stuff that you need to set up. So for example, you need to set up a bank account. You need to set up a Seller Central account. You need to set up your business. So for me, I'm located in Canada. I'm incorporated. So I think that's the equivalent of something called LLC in the States. I definitely recommend getting that done because that protects you. Let's say if you do sell on Amazon and someone comes after you because, I don't know, whatever. Like there's so much crazy stories out there of people getting sued. They can only sue after your company. They can't sue after your personal assets, right? So start off by forming an LLC and just make sure that you're protected. And then for the bank account, obviously you need to get that set up as well. And then at the beginning stages, make sure you're just keeping all your receipts. Make sure you know, like you're not mixing up your personal with your business expenses so that every single thing, like you should know, if it's business related, you should definitely run it through the business account, right? And then lastly, you need the Seller Central account. I know there's a couple options, but I recommend the $40 per month option, which is like the best option, I think, that you can get. So just make sure you get that option just so you have full access and everything else. It's $40 a month, and I know that if you don't use it for a couple months, you can actually contact Amazon. They can reimburse you for that money as well. So there's no risk for you. What is the most common mistake that I see people making in the initial setup? The most common mistake that I see people in the initial setup is the fact that they spend way too much time on this. Like, I know someone was in my group and asking me questions about taxes and lawyers and this and that. I'm like, dude, how much sales do you have on Amazon? He's like, oh, I haven't started selling yet. Guys, like, people like the CRA or IRS, they won't come after you if you don't have any sales. So why don't you stop thinking so much about taxes and accountant and start focusing on getting sales? Once you start getting sales, then you can reinvest the money back into getting a proper accountant who can clean up your books. If you just get sales for a couple months, IRS or CRA is not going to come after you and start auditing your accounts. So just make sure that you're not spending too much time on the initial setup, because at the end of the day, sales means everything, right? So that's kind of the most common mistake that I see beginners making before they get into a business. They spend so much time and energy focusing on the stuff that doesn't even matter at the beginning. Once they start making profit, then reinvest the money and getting a accountant, lawyer. A plane just flew above me. We're underneath we're pretty close by the Vancouver airport. So if you guys hear some noises, that's just a plane above us. Cool. So number two, it's finding a product. In order for us to sell on Amazon, we need to sell a product. These products are our own products. We're private labeling those products. And the reason why I highlighted everything in red is because I truly, truly believe that this is the most important part of your Amazon FBA business. The reality is that you can give some products to 7-figure sellers and they would even have trouble selling that product, because it all depends on the competition and it depends on the demand for the product as well. If you have high demand and low competition, that is your perfect product, right? If you find a product with like 20 reviews, 10 reviews, 30 reviews, and they're selling like 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 20,000, that's what you want to be looking for. You don't want to be looking for products that have 2,000 reviews and are selling like, 50 grand a month. Sure, they're making good money, but hey, how can you compete with someone with like 5,000 reviews? It's very, very difficult. So start by looking for products that have low reviews and low reviews and high demand. So the thing with the product is that don't just launch a product for the sake of launching a product. Launch a product that you can build into a brand later. So what I mean by brand is that, let's say you are getting into the baby space. Well, you can launch one product targeting moms, but you can also launch other products targeting moms as well. If you launch a beauty product, well, you can launch, vitamin C serum. You can launch like a moisturizer. You can launch, everything that's targeting your specific audience. So you have to know who your audience is, and you need to know what they are looking for when they're going online to buy stuff. And then you're just tailoring a bundle of solutions to that particular audience. And this way, when you ever want to sell your Amazon FBA business, it's worth a lot more than just selling an individual listing that doesn't really have a brand around. And brand is going to be something that can protect yourself from the evil Chinese competitors that are coming in and undercutting everything, because they don't really know how to build a brand, right? It's important for you to differentiate as well. What I mean by differentiate, not only just bundling, there's so many other things you can do to differentiate. You can do things like better packaging, better graphic design, better this, better that. So there's so many other things you can do to differentiate, but just make sure you know why someone's buying your product over someone else's. If the only reason why someone's buying your product because of the word price, then you're not selling a brand, you're selling a commodity. And that's only going to go down, 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 right? So that's the song by Sean Paul or something. Anyway, there's so many different ways for you to find products. The easiest way I would say is using product discovery by PreLaunch. I included a code on the bottom. If you want to use it, great. If you don't want to use it and don't want to save some money, that doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you use some sort of a product discovery tool that's going to make your job a lot easier, your life a lot easier essentially. So what is the most common mistake that I see people making in finding a product? It's not understanding what a good product is. I see so many people coming up to me, and I'll explain because that's a really bad answer, but I see so many people coming out to me and asking me, hey, Tom, is this a good product or not? Only 3 or 4 people on the first page is making money and everybody else is not making money. Well, you have to ask yourself, like, what's the probability of me getting to top 4 versus me just getting on the first page, right? And I also see people just not really picking the right product in a sense that they're picking something that's way too competitive. Everybody on the first page have tens, hundreds, and thousands of reviews. it's hard for you to compete when it just comes to reviews, right? Because that's kind of the thing that Amazon, customers go on Amazon these days. The first thing they see is reviews and pictures. So pick something that's less competitive. And then once you get good at Amazon, once you can get reviews fast, when you have a launch strategy, then you can pick something a little bit more competitive. Also pick something that's high in demand as well. Like what I'm looking for is I want to see everybody on the first page making money. I don't want to just see the top 3 or top 5 because that's really hard to get to, right? So make sure you pick something where everybody on the first page is making money. Okay, so now we have the product. What we need to do is we need to source the product. Most likely, you're going to source it from China. One of the best tips I can give to you guys right now, another plane is flying over, but one of the best tips I can give to you guys right now is obviously a lot of us is going to go on Alibaba to source these products. Now, Alibaba's pricing is way off, okay? I'm going to wait for 20 seconds. All right, cool. So Alibaba's pricing is very, very expensive because they know everybody from North America, US, Canadian, they're coming on Alibaba to source these products. They know about Amazon FBA. So they're going to try to rip you off as much as they can. Now, what you can do is you can go on a website called 1688. It's all in Chinese, but you can use Google Translate. And you can type something like garlic press and see how much people are selling these garlic presses for on 1688. Then you go back to the Alibaba manufacturer and say, hey, look, I found the exact same garlic press on 1688. They're charging me $1. You're charging me $4. Let's work out a deal. Like, I know you're trying to screw me, but let's work out a deal, right? So make sure that when you're sourcing a product, you're using 1688 as a leverage. And do not just order a few hundred units. I guess that's what the most common mistakes is. It's the fact that you're not ordering enough inventory. Here's the thing that gurus don't tell you. You can get into Amazon for $1,000. You can get into Amazon for $2,000. Yes, you can, but can you succeed? It's very, very difficult for you to get your product ranking on the first page of Amazon if you only have a couple hundred units. And I'll explain that a little bit later in the launch phase. So what I always recommend to my people is, look, Amazon FBA is a real business. You need inventory. You need at least 2 to 3 months of inventory in order for you to have a successful launch strategy. So you can use something like PreLaunch and the Chrome extension. You type in garlic press, you see how much people are selling on the first page. If they're selling, let's say 500 units a month, then you need minimum 1,000 units. So 500 times 2 months, or you want 500 times 3 months, that's 1,500 units, okay? So that's the biggest mistake that I see people doing. They just order 200 units, 300 units, and they can never get their product onto the first page. Or if you can't get your product on the first page, similar like Google, do you ever go to like the second page or third page of Google to look for things? Probably not. You're only going to stick with the first page of Google, right? So similar with Amazon, over 70% of the sales are generated, I think it was 70 or 60, majority of the sales are generated in the top 6 listing above the fold. So if you type in garlic press, top 6 listings make majority of the fold, majority of the sales. So that's where you want to make up, that's where you essentially want to be. So make sure you order at least 2 to 3 months. All right, so the pre-launch. So what I mean by pre-launch is now we have the product. Now we're getting that product to Amazon FBA. We need to build our listing, right? So what are some of the things that we need to do in order to build a listing? Well, we need photocopy. We need photography. We need copywriting. We need reviews. We need graphic design. We need all different sorts of things that we see on someone's listing. Now, I'm going to go into the most common mistake that I see. The most common mistake that I see in this part is the fact that people are being cheap, okay? People are being cheap about their listing. They have a photo that they take on their iPhone. They have, they don't know how to do copywriting, so they just do it themselves. And they don't want to invest in graphic design because they think it's not going to do anything for them. The thing you have to ask yourself is this, and again, like, I'm just being as much transparent as I can. I know sometimes I sound like kind of an asshole, just like so harsh, but it's true though. Like, it's the fact that I see so many people like cheaping out on this process. Let's say you and I are going on Amazon.com right now to buy a garlic press, right? And we have obviously a bunch of different options. Would you buy a garlic press from someone's listing, given everything is the same? The price is the same, the review's the same, the product's the same, everything's the same. Would you buy a garlic press from someone who has a beautiful photo of photography, with like little prop like garlic, maybe someone holding it in the kitchen, really good copywriting where it's like, intriguing your emotions? Or would you buy it from someone who took a freaking garlic press on their iPhone? It's not perfect white background. It's just really bad copy. The grammar doesn't even make sense. Which one would you rather buy from? Obviously, the one that you see as a better listing visually, right? So this part, make sure that you invest money getting this part done, because if you invest money into getting this part done, it will pay dividends. Believe me, it will pay tens and hundreds X back. You'll get your money back within a couple weeks if you do this part right. Okay, so that's the most common mistake, is do not cheap out on this. And the checklist that I've given you at the very end here, it's going to have all the resources that I personally use. So you can, use my photographer, you can use my copywriter, all that stuff. All right, so now we have the pre-launch. Now we got to get our product onto the first page, and that's the launch phase, right? So in order to get your product onto the first page of Amazon, you need sales. One of the most common misconceptions is the fact that, I just need reviews, I'm going to be on the first page. By theory, you can have 10,000 reviews and you can still be on the last page. If no one buys your product, you're not going to be on the first page. The only time Amazon makes money is when you sell a product. So they want the best products and the ones that sell the most to appear on the first page so that they can make more money as well. So at the beginning, you kind of need to fake your sales, right? Doesn't matter how you get your sales. You can go on Reddit, you can go on Facebook, you can go on giveaway sites, you can go on blog sites, you can ask your family and friends, you can ask your dog, cat, doesn't matter how. People need to buy your product. So if someone on the first page is selling 20 units a day, you need at least 21 sales a day for at least 8 to 10 days in order for your listing to outrank theirs, right? So you need to start generating some sales velocity. One of the best ways, the easiest ways for you to generate that sales velocity is using a launch service, such as PreLaunch. So there are services out there that help Amazon sellers to get their product onto the first page because they own these giveaway sites, these deal sites. Essentially what you're going to do is, hey, PreLaunch, I have this garlic press. I want to get on the first page. PreLaunch says, sure, you need to give away 300 units. We're going to post it for 90% off on our deal site. And then we're going to target a specific keyword, such as garlic press. And then you're going to get on the first page after 7 or 8 days, right? Almost pretty much guaranteed. So that's how you can get on the first page. That's the easiest way. The harder way you can do is more advanced ways. You can build your own email list, okay? So the email list, you can essentially run Facebook ads, get email list, and then next time you have a product launch, you can target this email list and say, hey guys, I have this product and I want to be giving it away for 90% off. And that way you don't have to use a third-party service like PreLaunch. So what is the most common mistake that I see here is the fact that people do not understand how to target a specific keyword. They think that just because you get sales, you can be on the first page, but that's not true. You have to go on Amazon.com and type in a specific keyword like garlic press, and then someone will find your listing. And then if they buy your product through that listing, you get ranked for that particular keyword, okay? So that's the most common mistake that I see people making, is the fact that they don't understand that concept. Okay, lastly, rinse, repeat, and scale. So this is when, you got your product on the first page, now what? Well, there's, PPC, there's scaling, there's repeat and rinse and repeat. Essentially, the name of the game is you want to get as many product on Amazon as possible, and you want to rank them on the first page for as many keywords as possible. That's it. So I would recommend hiring a virtual assistant to help you out. The best place to hire a virtual assistant, I'm actually going to be posting it in the little spreadsheet that I showed you guys earlier, the checklist. And you need to launch more products, because here I broke it down for you guys. So if you launch 10 products, each of those are selling 10 units a day. That's 100 units per day. And each of those are making $10 profit. That's $1,000 profit per day. And you times it by 30 days, that's $30,000 per month in profit. I mean, like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to make $30,000 per month. I want to make $30,000 per month, and that's obviously, like, once you make $30,000 per month, you can really you've achieved financial freedom, in my opinion. But obviously that needs to be sustainable, that needs to be consistent, and that's the hard part, because there's always people coming in and kind of You're gonna have competitors. You're gonna have, it's business. Something could go wrong. This could go wrong. That could go wrong. But just by theory, in the perfect world, $1,000 profit per day times 30 days, that's $30,000 profit. So what is the most common mistake? Well, the most common mistake that I think is the fact that you didn't hire your VA earlier enough. So I have my VA, she's awesome, and what I get her to do is product research. That's the most time consuming part, and this is the most time consuming part, the hardest part. So I teach her how to do product research, and she goes out and actually fetches products for me. And then I'm also teaching her how to contact Chinese suppliers so she can take over that process, right? We just essentially want to launch as many products as possible under our brand, so that way we can grow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. I will make sure to respond to every single one of you guys. And for those of you guys who stayed till the very end, I'm gonna tell you what to do. All you gotta do is join the Facebook group, which is right here. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Simply go on Facebook and type in FBA Hustlers, Intermediate to Advanced, and it's the very first link. Or I guess you can just enter this in, okay? So that's it. Enter the link, say hi, say what's up, and yeah, I really want to help you guys out because I believe there's a lot of BS information out there, and I think that I've grown my business to $130,000, $150,000 per month scale, and I can guarantee you, if you follow my advice, I can help you to grow from 0 to 10,000. That's not a problem in my opinion if you just follow my advice. So if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna do more of these beginner series for you guys. That way you can get some really good information out of this channel for free. Okay, catch you guys next time.